Good afternoon. My name's John with the Pine Tree. I have the great pleasure of being here with Supervisor candidate for District 3, Bill McManus.
John, nice seeing you again.
Hey, thanks for joining us again. Now, this is, we're getting kind of down the stretch, aren't we? I mean,
yes.
This is kind of...
We're getting down to the last 13 days, I believe, so we're almost there. You know, this 5-month journey, this incredible journey, is coming to an end in 13 days. Hey,
there was a couple points you wanted to touch on, you know, as far as where the campaign is now, you know, what things do you think you want voters to remember down the stretch? What are some of those?
Well, I think right now what we need to do is kind of get back to what the basic platforms are, and I just want to be able to reiterate what the platform is and get away from some of the other noise that has kind of, you know, jumped in on this, and the political seasons always get crazy.
Right.
It's not just this race, it's everywhere. So just so we don't lose sight of why we're here and why we're running, and what our philosophies are, and the differences between us. And there's, it's not personal, it's not a popularity contest, it's a contest of ideas and philosophy. And I have my philosophy, and it varies greatly from my opponent's philosophy. So I just want to give you an idea of what it is.
There you go.
Kind of going back to that first interview we did some 5 months ago.
Yeah. No, I guess some of the things you want to, like quality of life issues. What are some of those?
I think quality of life is one of the issues that is most important to District 3 residents from what I've been hearing. I thought it was true in the beginning when I first started the campaign, but as the campaign has moved on and more people have realized that there's someone in the race, they've contacted me, we've talked about it, and quality of life is a difficult concept to define. But the way I see it from the residents of District 3 that have talked to me, quality of life is about their personal safety.
Okay.
Quality of life is their home life. Quality of life is enjoying their surroundings in District 3. After all, that's why we all came here.
Right.
I don't know how many native District 3 people we have anymore. People came to District 3 for a reason. So as far as their personal safety, first and foremost is the Sheriff's Department. I am a huge supporter of the Sheriff's Department. I oppose all of the cutbacks that are being made to the Sheriff's Department right now. It's being cut way beyond what will provide a certain level of protection that our citizens deserve. Beyond that, we have our fire. Now, some people say that the county really isn't involved with fire protection, and to a large degree in District 3 that's true, because CAL FIRE, CDF has requirements, but we do have Ebbets Pass Fire District. And right now, the Ebbets Pass Fire District is not being paid money that has been collected for them on their water tenders. For every house built in District 3 or in the county, a $900 fee is assessed to get the building permit. That fee is supposed to go for water tenders because we don't have the hydrants and things like that. Right now, Ebbets Pass Fire District has not yet received the pink slip to their truck, which has been paid for years. And they are also funding the maintenance, which is supposed to come out of that fund. Right now, they're holding an $11,000 invoice that's owed by the county, and they can't get paid. So that means that money that volunteers raise, that come out of your taxes and everything else, is that going to delay the purchase of additional equipment? You know, whether it's a Jaws of Life or a resuscitator or equipment for our firefighters or maintenance on other trucks. It has an impact on the fire district, so we want to make sure that's taken care of. So those are some of my highest priorities. As we've moved through this campaign, yard waste of all things comes up as a big issue. Well, when you stop and think about it, it is public safety. Some subdivisions are wanting to ban burning in the subdivision.
Okay.
So it's, you know, those are things that we get into, and I tell them, you know, whenever you light a fire in the forest, it's always a dangerous thing.
Right.
So those are issues that, you know, we've been marching through, and, you know, it's been debated, and we're trying to get that straightened out. But I'd like to see the yard waste program that was partially funded in the beginning during the season when pine needles are in yard cleanup is being done. Does it make as much sense in November? No, but during fire season and prior to fire season, those are the things we have to do, and that's quality of life, that's public safety, and all those issues. It's all kind of wrapped into one.
Yeah.
So. That's what citizens want from the government. That's our first priority.
Now, as a supervisor, what would you do for the schools? You know, as far as schools, and I know they're facing some challenges on declining enrollments.
Well, in the Vallecito School District, they are not a basic, an ADA school district.
Basic aid, yeah.
They are basic aid district, which means that their funding is based a lot on the assessed valuation of property. So, in a way, even though they may be, they may not realize that they're kind of tied to what we can do with business and getting people back into this community, filling empty houses and turning them into homes with real families living there, paying taxes and doing those kinds of things. So they really depend on a vibrant community if they're going to fund the school district that way. So I just hate to see the school district funding dropping. My kids go to that school district, and so it's a great school district. We stayed for the school district. We had a chance to leave in 1995 and decided to stay here just because of the schools. And my children were only 1 and 2 years old, so it was a good decision. So
those schools have done well, especially this year on testing.
They've done incredibly well this year, and now we've got a new principal at Avery Middle School. I've had a chance to talk to her a couple times. She seems to be very on top of things. Really enjoyed discussing things with her. My son graduates from Avery next week, so my days at Avery Middle School are
so you're graduating out of the district almost, huh?
Well, I'll be spending a lot more time at Bret Harte High School. That's where my daughter goes. My son will be there, and they're both big into sports. So it's going to be. We're going to be going down the hill a little bit more. So.
Now, getting to some of the issues that I think a lot of the voters and people really care about in this cycle is economics. Recovery. What are you looking at for District 3?
Okay, before the way you asked that question, I'm glad you did, because it gives me a chance to make a distinction that a lot of people overlook sometimes. I am running for supervisor of Calaveras County from District 3.
Right.
I am not running to be the supervisor of District 3. So we're one of 5 districts in the county, and so we have to look at the collective good for the county. So things that we can do business-wise or to increase business revenue, we will all benefit from.
Yeah.
It's not a District 3 gets everything and we end up fighting like we do now with these individual fiefdoms, kingdoms or queendoms, whatever you want to call them. We need to take a look at running this county responsibly and doing the right thing, and then we will all benefit from it.
Right.
That was that first interview we had, and we talked about the piece of the pie, making the pie bigger.
Yeah.
So some of the initiatives that I'd like to see started up involve the entire county. So we've got to get people from around the county to buy into that, because we're all going to benefit from it. And that includes everything from possibly enterprise zones or something like that in the West County, trying to increase business, to getting rid or at least suspending the planned development zoning suffix in Arnold, which is a stranglehold on people who want to buy one of the stores, the empty stores that we have there, fix it up, paint it, do something with it.
Okay.
It's discretionary, and whenever something that has the rule of law like that is discretionary, there's a lot of room for abuse of discretionary policies. So either I would rather see us suspend planned development for a while. Let's get these buildings cleaned up. Let's get some businesses in there. Let's get some families working. Let's see what happens. Let's see what we can do to boost business. And down the line, when we're at a higher or a lower vacancy rate, right now we're at 70%, we can address those issues. I'm not saying that we just turn the town open for unrestrained development, but let's give new business people a break to try to get in on the business. It's just so expensive and so time consuming now. The other initiative that I really want to press is the Economic Development Authority. And you were at our economic summit that we had back in February, something like that. We had Larry Cope over from Tuolumne County. Even though it was branded a political stunt, and it was someone tried to torpedo it, we went ahead with it anyway. Larry came over, and since it was on the pine tree, and it wormed its way through cyberspace or whatever we got on the internet, about 6 weeks ago, I received a phone call from a business in San Jose that wanted to relocate to Calaveras County. They found us on the internet through the Pine Tree and then to my website, getting my phone number, and we had 3 or 4 phone conversations. And 2 weeks ago, they actually came over. We met at the Chamber of Commerce with Diane Gray, myself, and these 2 business people, and they are really excited about coming to Calaveras County. They want to open an operation in Valley Springs and perhaps Angels Camp. It is a totally green business. It's an amazing business they have, and it's one that's why you go looking for businesses, because who would think? I'm not allowed to discuss a lot of the details, but when you see what they're going to do, it's absolutely incredible. And in a million years, I never would have thought of it.
Right.
But they're out there. So with our modest little attempt to go out and say, to sell Calaveras County, we got people coming in.
Right.
So can you imagine what would happen if we had an economic authority with county government behind us, streamlining the process, researching businesses and finding appropriate businesses for appropriate areas in the county? It can be done. And people will say, oh no, that's not. I don't believe that. It takes hard work, and we're ready to do it.
If let's say you're successful on the run, you're the supervisor now, what do you want the future of the county to look like? I mean, what do you think you can do to help influence that?
Well, first of all, I would just be 1 vote of 5.
Right.
So what I'm hoping to do is go to San Andreas, work with like-minded supervisors, both now and perhaps in the future, to see about changing the image of Calaveras County. I've lived here for almost 30 years. It's a fantastic place to live. I don't think we should pull the drawbridge up now that people are here. I'd like to see Calaveras County offer the same opportunities for new people, for young people, for my children, for your children, for other people's kids that I had when I came up here. When I came here, someone moved over for me. Since I've been here, I've moved over for someone else. Now it's time for us to move over and let some other people in. And how can we accommodate that and keep the rural nature of Calaveras County? And then it's, like a general plan is really difficult because we're such a diverse county. We have rolling hills, down in the West County, and we've got high Sierra Vistas in the East County. Even
District 3, there's a change from Forest Meadows to...
Exactly. So how do you get one plan that overlays Calaveras County and fits? How do you get everything to fit into one model? So I think we have to be, of course, a lot of the land in District 3 is not privately owned, it's owned by the government. But we do have some influence over the government. But for the private land we have, let's try to do the best we can to get the most out of it. I'm not in favor of high density housing in Arnold or anything like that. People have their choices. They came here for a reason. Other people should be able to have that same choice. I did, you did. So let's welcome them in and see if there's something that we can do to improve Calaveras County. Bring it back to the county that I knew when I first came up here. So that would be, I'd like to see that happen, so that in 4 years, I think it's going to be a long, hard struggle, but in 4 years, if we can look back and say, this is where we were and this is where we are now, and people say, it got better, and we're happy we took this direction and we think it's the way to go, I would be extremely pleased. That would be the best of the best, is to have that happen.
Good luck down the stretch.
Okay.